welcome to the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. I am your host, the whiteologist, Mr. Blows Your Minds, and this is Black Minds News Live Report. Black Minds News is to report, articulate, transmit, communicate, insinuate, develop, investigate, decode, spread the news, whether it's by news, video, website, or quotes from publications. As I articulate this information, I act as the creator of the universe. Be here, heart, soul, mind, and spirit. Because why? The truth don't need no partner. As a descendant of the greatest people who created this land that we call the United States, we, the BADOS, Black American descendant of slaves, we, the today's children and present generation, we give honor to our ancestors. You know, the motto of my show is, I'm never going to tell you what I heard. I'm only going to tell you what I know. That's right, y'all. Black Minds News is trying to return after the assassination attempt, which was successful to get me out. But here I am back again, fighting once again for that which tries to keep us from going forward. So I have a show that I'm going to put together kind of on the whim. There's a show already that was supposed to be about 4 days ago, but that's about when I was supposed to come back on, but it didn't happen. So I'm going to just go ahead and kind of do it anyway. And then we'll kind of talk about it. You see as the screen is freezing there, right? Well, there's been a lot going on over here. So we just going to get into it. Hopefully that those who are here present right now know what this is all about. If not, we're going to talk about it. So let me go ahead, get ready to get into this show here. And stay tuned for this broadcast. Hey, how's y'all doing, everybody? Again, this is your host, Mr. Blows Your Minds, and welcome to Black Minds News Live Report. Today's date is March the 9th, 2020. And first and foremost, I want to say what's good to my fam. Should be in the house, or just when you hear on the delayed tape. What's good, fam? Long time no heard, no idea. I've probably been going day to day, but you near, right? Unless you make known who he is, right? But anyway, thank you for coming through, subscribing, and staying, old ones and new. Passerbys, if you happen to pass by, this is the most hated show on the black corner of the internet. You ain't heard? You don't know? Been in the business for 8 years. Had 2.9, fluctuating 30 to 40, but won't get 3,000, because every time you get one, they take them away. Can't get past 100 views. I don't care whether I go live, post, or whatever. You tell me if I'm not the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. Anyway, go down the aisle, see some things that you might like. You happen to see some things that to make you feel some kind of way. Remember, the motto of my show is the truth don't need no partner. Now, let me check and see if I got a couple people in the house first. Anybody in the house that I might know? Otherwise, I had to assume that you probably... Oh, no, I got Andrea Graham. Power to the people. What's good, Andrea Graham? Now, again, you know, how you feeling there? All right. I appreciate you being here, stopping by. Give you a little bit, again, y'all might be new here. But again, like I said, we've been around for 8 years. Been doing some shows lately. I guess some people feel some kind of way. And it's kind of funny how you tell truth that is like, it's not like you telling something nobody didn't know. It's public general information. And it's saying that certain people get upset. Kind of like, you know, you have those people who talk about the Tyson Fury fight. And then, you know, okay, now depending on what side of the argument you are, you look at what's being presented. People talking about people might have been cheating, padding gloves, or gloves not in, using bare knuckles, okay? Let's say you on that side and you say your man won. Why do you get angry if people say they cheating? Hell, do you care? You won, right? If you bet it, so you won, right? But it's like you expose the truth, people get angry. If you find out that your man is a cheater, regardless to whether it's in sports or whatever, or your girl, do you ride with them wholeheartedly like you once seen them in the light, or does something about their credibility gets, diminished? So I don't understand that part about being angry when somebody doing something that, again, unless you would want the lie to continue to, so you can benefit from it, right? So anyway, I took a hit, and I didn't want to go another week without saying something. So I just kind of threw this show. I already had the show. It was supposed to be going back on the 5th. But, went through so much. Like I said, the assassination attempt. Tried to take everything out. They got the whole system. Right? I mean, they did a doozy. So you don't know if, again, you may think that, oh, man, just ring it. No, we just do news, but it's what we do over here. So I got some stuff for here today. Let me go ahead and start with something. We're going to talk about what we're going to do today. I'm trying to just kind of go with it. I didn't really, I got it together, but I wasn't actually prepared to do it. But I said, I might have to just go ahead and just come on instead of just coming on how I normally come on. So let me do this. Let me show what we're talking. We're going to start off here. Now, normally on this show, we will have articles and we do videos. I may have some videos or part of it, but not for everything, due to the simple fact that I'm kind of put it together. But because I want to let you guys know that who was starting to get accustomed to me coming on, and then all of a sudden I was gone 3, 4, 5 days. Like I keep telling y'all, but sometimes you just don't hear me though. So I'm going to go back, because I got to go back a little bit, because these are some of the stories that I was going to do. I still didn't see nobody touch none of this. So I'm going to go here, right? See if I still even got that one. I don't know if I still got this story. Did y'all hear about this one? The Ohio 911 call taker suspended for neglecting to send help to a man who died from a stroke. You know I'm going to say that again. Ohio 911 call taker suspended for neglecting to send help to man who died from stroke. Now, we done heard Public Enemy was in the news lately. Remember, Flavor was 911 is a joke, right? And we kind of those who come from out, when you come from the cut on the low end, you know that depending how volatile the area you live in, that, it's kind of like, well, today they say Uber. It used to be a cab. If you lived in a certain area that was well known to get your ass robbed, at the certain time of the night, you ain't get no cab. But you'll be a figure way hit that public transportation, or you're going to have to pat and turn. That means hit the pavement and walk, right? So anyway, it was in Cincinnati, Ohio. A Cincinnati 911 call taker is being investigated and suspended after serious neglect of duty. Neglect of duty, okay? Violating multiple established procedures during a call about a man who died in January from a stroke, city officials confirmed Monday. What took place on the night of January 12th is nothing short of a tragedy. City manager Patrick Duhaney said in an email to city council members and Mayor John Cranley. It's unclear if the individual would have lived or died. Keep that in mind. Keep that in note. It's unclear if the individual would have lived or died. But the actions of the call taker undermines the possibility of a positive outcome in the situation. That's that PR work. You know that. The announcement Monday came after Fox 19 Now asked about the case last week. We requested interviews with the city and police officials, as well as dozens of public records related to it, including a 911 call, radio traffic, and the call taker's personal file and discipline. According to the city manager email, a man living in an apartment building of the Grossbeck Road called the 911 the night of January 12th to report that one of his neighbors appeared to have suffered a stroke. Caller was not with the patient at the time. He was in a different apartment on a different floor. Call taker attempt to direct the caller to go to the patient so he could be asked questions. Now she's gonna tell him, you need to go there and ask him some questions. And the caller indicated that the patient might not want to answer questions or want help. He wrote. Caller told the call taker, according to the Duhaney letter, he's getting worse and worse. This is an emergency. He had a stroke. He has a stroke and another one is coming. He's going to die. He's going to die here. Over a nearly 8-minute call, the call taker went back and forth with the caller telling him we can't force ourselves on him. If he doesn't want help, they don't do anything. He has to want to be helped, Duhaney said. The man was told by the call taker that there's nothing the fire department or the police officers can do. They can't force themselves on him. Eventually, the caller hung up. Call taker closed the call. No help was sent. The letter states. The next day, a 911 call was received from the same apartment complex. Caller indicated that the individual who suffered a medical emergency the previous night had passed away. They also request assistance with removal of the body because we wouldn't come and help yesterday, according to Duhaney's memo. ECC leadership initiated a complete and thorough investigation of the matter as soon as they became aware of the incident. It was determined that by 45 seconds into the call taker had been provided a good dispatchable location and had been told someone is having a stroke, he wrote. Yet, they did not initiate an emergency medical service response. The emergency medical dispatcher training explicitly states that a subject experiencing what appears to be a stroke must receive an immediate response that is not subject to delay. His memo states that in the total, the call taker violated multiple established and written ECC process and procedures. Like all call takers, the individual had been taking various required trainings on these processes and should have taken a more appropriate cause of action. The caller taker was suspended, paid pending an outcome of the disciplinary process details in the collective bargaining agreement. All right. So here's a situation here where 911, right? You in a situation where you need emergency medical treatment. Let's see now, if you've been around, let's say, Generation X, maybe you baby boomer, you remember when 911 came into fruition. You remember when that process came. 911 ain't like it's been around since the telephone and the system been up. 911 ain't been around. I don't know, it was 80? That might be the 80s, right? I think before you hit the zero, hit the operator, right? So, 911 became synonymous with emergency. Just like 9/11, right? Like somebody made sure 9/11 happened on 9/11, meaning representation of that 911. But anyway, so this situation had happened back in January 12th originally. But it came out when I was going to do the show back on the 5th. But they broke this news on March 2nd. And, a lot of times, like if those who watch TV, you be watching those programs and people call in, they be showing the dispatcher. Don't sometimes you be feeling like, dang, you're asking some goddamn man questions. Just send them. You know what I'm saying? Just like the article said that once it has been acknowledged that the person has a stroke, you ain't got to make no more speech, right? What are we making a speech for? You've been on the call long enough that somehow they have a system where it can, kind of like, cell phone towers, how they can pinpoint. So you can dispatch what you need. The person who's calling, I don't even know how that person knew. Different floor, right? It just seems, I don't know, right? We're just going to say, well, according to what the story said, right? That's what happened. Okay, you was there, you heard. I don't know. I'm only speculating. But the operator seemed to be like, well, if he don't want help, we can't send nobody. It ain't up to him. It's the person you talking to, right? I mean, how you gonna decide to make a decision on the life and death that somebody else is calling for help? That's like seeing a car accident and you get on the phone to call because they incapacitated, they hurt, bleeding profusely, disoriented, discombobulated, the whole nine, and you call. And here the operator talking about, I need to talk to them. Well, right now, they really tore up. Can you just please send somebody here? I gotta ask you some more questions. So, it's tragic in so many forms of fact. You're talking about neglect. Did you see the PR work come into play? Oh, we can't really say because she didn't send dispatch whether he died or not because of that. What the hell are you talking about? What? So the next day you get a call with 911, right? You get a call 911 the next day saying that we have a deceased person here at a location that y'all got a call from the night previous, and you see somebody in there dead, DOA, dead on arrival, and you gonna say, I don't know if he would have lived or died if we came or not. But they done cut me off? Or they trying to cut me off? Well, all right, they trying to cut me. But some of these people, they got their way, they do what they do. There's some people, you hear it in them. You can hear it in them. You know where I could go. So you're going to do what you do. But anyway, we're going to keep going anyway. So, you don't sit here and say the possibility of somebody living or dying is based on the simple fact of hypothetical of the way you see in the situation because it's your job and again, it's your position. I understand you got to do that. But that's the point of 911. To call, to come. Because you're going to charge me $500 and plus just for the ambulance ride. That's the highest Uber ride in the country. Whether you go in there and get some sugar water, a sucker, or whatever, you're going to pay for the ambulance ride, right? But the tragicness is, no joke in that, the fact that the person had a stroke. But it's just the fact that the 911, okay, there's procedures and protocols that you follow. But then there's the person again, they didn't even say 911. They trying to say call taker. They're not even trying to say 911 operator. They trying to still kind of chime it off like this a call taker. Back of the hand, front of the hand, still the damn hand. You don't get what I'm saying? It's the same. Point is, accountability, right? That's all they're saying. Wait a minute, man. You don't know, but you can't go back because it's done now. And so whoever that is, whether minutes, seconds, they were trying to hold on. It's like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? The world may never know, right? We ain't gonna know that, how long an hour is. And so he could have just passed away before you knocked on the door the next day. He was holding on. Huh? He or she was holding on, but you still didn't send nobody. And that person who was the dispatcher, call taker, that's what the point I was going to go. The call taker, what I'm saying, where's the humanity part? You as a damn worker. Where's the part that if you got to see yourself in somebody else's position and be like, if that was me, I'm sending some damn body. But some people are disgruntled ass workers. They work, but they begrudgingly be at the damn job. And your food tastes just like their attitude, don't it? Right? The attitude is all up in your food. And this shit tastes terrible. Who cooked this shit? Right? Don't get no delivery. Right? That's how it go. But again, it's a tragic situation. It happens. But can they have a better, system? Yeah, you don't need all the damn questions. Yes, you got people who do be in pranks and shit like that, but that's just the name of the game. But I just wanted to bring some attention to that. for what it's worth, if it's worth anything to anybody. Because I just think sometimes some of these stories that have this human compassion, and you see that, you know, if you're doing a certain type of work that's dealing in the field of humanity, and somebody is in need, then that's what you do. Well, I mean, boy, y'all, you in here really trying to knock me off, huh? This fuzzy wuzzy and everything, huh? That's all right. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? You gotta do what you do. I got y'all, dude Kabir, what's good, fam? I ain't seen you in a long time. Black Beauty, I got a question for you. I got a black, okay. Now, I know you changed that avatar, right? You changed that avatar one time, right? That one that had that animation. I ain't gonna talk about just put a 1 or 2. You used to have that little animation in it at one time, didn't you? You had the animation that one time, right? You know? Yeah. Okay, you ain't gonna say nothing now. Cat got the tongue. Don't worry about it. You all good over here. You know what I'm saying? You're still all good. So anyway, let me go and move on forward. And I want to appreciate everybody who's sitting up in the house. Again, like I said, this is getting after the assassination tip, getting back in and just trying to see how it's working, operating. It's kind of, you're going to see some fuzziness and all that because did what they had to do, right? They did what they had to do. All right, so what else I got up in here? Oh, this one here, man. This one here. I don't want to show this image long, but I think we need to talk about this because ain't nobody talking about it. And, you know, when this individual here who put in a lot of work was known as the hardest working man in show business, right? And when he passed away, I'm pretty sure it was on Christmas, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm not going to leave his image up there long because we're not like certain people who excavate and then want to parade and put you in a museum and have you all displayed out there. All right, so did y'all hear anything about that? James Brown lawyers break silence as DA weighs potential death investigation, right? You see that, right? They're talking about James Brown. Now, so again, I'm not going to sit there and desecrate and leave him out there like that. But again, ain't that something they would put him in the image like that, right? So what they talking about here, right? For those who might not know, that they saying that the investigation that they're going back into this situation to the simple fact that James Brown may not have died the way you thought James Brown had died. Yeah. You know, there's some speculations, right? They talking about they want to exhume the body. According to the article, people got, you know, some of the blood because somebody who was there and say some foul play, see some things. So, you know, that's kind of crazy, right? Think about that. James Brown didn't die of natural causes. Or he went in not feeling good. End up seeing like, again, if you got something somebody wants, they can see the foregone conclusion of the economics to be garnered off of, you know, those royalties and, it might be a potential person for me to look down the line and see how we can get it from you, right? We've seen, matter of fact, when you look at Prince, right? Prince went ahead and just after he had just won, get all his rights, all his, he didn't get to enjoy none of that, did he? Right? Think about that, right? Michael Jackson said he finna get away from what you call Sony and all that other stuff, and then live long afterwards, right? And the list goes on when it comes to entertainers when they talk about that kind of stuff. That they somebody kind of seeing them want to have their rights. And so accordingly, they said this is what the article talks about. This article had came back out on March 3rd. So again, let's just go to show. I was supposed to have been on about a couple of days, but again, the assassination tip on my system to keep me from coming back on. But, you know, I'm fighting to get it back on. So it talks about that the Atlanta prosecutor said he would consider opening a formal investigation to James Brown's death, longtime attorney said he would have no objections if authorities wanted to examine the singer's remains. On a phone interview back in February 24th, they said CNN sensed news of potential investigation service. This individual said he don't have any feelings about it one way or another. Now, this is a dude named Buddy Davis. He said on the telephone call. Again, Brown said investigative series of Browns in early 2019 declined to answer the questions and citing advice from his own attorney not to talk. So a lot of people might be involved in this, but again, it kind of went quiet in the night, and we didn't make no stink about it because we just took it for what it was, and that was it. And so what it looks like is that Godfather Soul seemed to had went to the hospital, wasn't feeling too good, went in there, had his ace boom coon with him. Came in kind of weak after doing a little exam and gave him a couple of things. He got back healed. He was ready to go. He was himself. So they wanted to keep him overnight for observation, right? So what ended up happening is his buddy left him. Now keep that in mind. Whoever should have somebody go in the hospital, always, right? Have somebody stay there. Somebody watching. Because nobody there was watching. And what ended up happening, he get a call late at night and they say, oh, James Brown passed away. Dude was like, what? What you mean James Brown passed away? What do you mean? He was gone. So he go there and they ain't really trying, he getting rowdy. He about to go in on Muggs. And guess what? They like, nah, man. You can't go in there. But somehow, according to this article, it talks about is because Holland, he kept saying that they killed him. They killed him, but they was getting angry about that. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody killed him. But accordingly, what the article talks about is that a nurse told him something, and then supposedly they seen through the tubing powder residue. Somehow to get some vial of blood, gave it to him, and he's been holding it ever since. Remember how the family, they didn't, matter of fact, I think James Brown grave, nobody even know where it's at. I think one of the children got it, and according to say that is buried in the yard where she's at. And they're trying to exhume, but they ain't trying to let nobody do it until, I guess, the proper time, which is now. And now you see nobody touching it. You ain't seen this nowhere on the news, nowhere. They'll put it in there, but it depends who's watching. Now, there's a lot of people who do news, but certain things they don't touch, right? And so, can you imagine that? James Brown might have been killed. Again, we know he was, in the 70s at this time. But, he went in, they said, for a mild heart attack and a mild case of congestive heart failure. That's what they was treating him for. But his partner that took him in there said that ain't what he went in there for. He wasn't feeling too good, but then he was good. He was like ready to go. He could have walked out with him. But that overnight stay was the opportunity. And again, as the person who gave him the vial of blood said what she seen, but she want to stay, she want to stay anonymous. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention just in case you didn't hear about that, I could go into this deep. Like I said, the assassination attempt to keep me from doing the show. So I'm just kind of coming off the wind because I didn't want to go another. That was half of the week. Shit, I think what last show I did was a Tuesday last week. So I had to fight through all the way through up in here to get in there. I didn't want to go through. No, so I'm just coming in on what I would have done, right? But anyway, James Brown may not have just died like you thought. And it was December 25th, which was Christmas, right? For those who all into the Christmas thing. Oh, you heard about the James Brown? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I could give you more details than just kind of just rambling with it if you want. I want just in case for those who didn't hear. But I just said it because, again, think about James Brown, what James Brown kind of represented, right? Being at that particular time, gave you the slogan, say it right, I'm black and I'm proud, right? That became a slogan, right? What the fuck just happened here? What just happened here? Hold on, man. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Like I told you. Did it cut off? You know, cut me off, did they? Hold on, y'all. I think they... Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I'm back in there. Did they click it off? Hold on. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, I want to apologize for y'all who knew coming over here. Again, those who were long-time advocates. I think I am off. Am I off? Hold on. Let me check. Hold on, y'all. I got to check something. Because, see, listen, that's what I'm talking about. Hey. They funny about this, man. Okay. I think I'm back. I'm back now. Okay. No, I'm not back. Am I back? Somebody sent me a message. Okay. All right. I guess I'm back. All right. It looked like I'm back because it did some funniness right now. So anyway, I mean, everything. I wouldn't be surprised if Mug ain't sitting up in here. Whoever this is, I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But that's just how it is. It's kind of funny how everybody want to make, well, you know, black folks, y'all ignorant, you stupid. Ain't nobody care what y'all do. But the minute you over here do what you doing, all your eyes and ears all up in here. Ooh, what they talking about? And if you don't like or you disagree with it, and it makes you feel some kind of way, I'm gonna sabotage it. Then here's my thing to you: when you look in the damn mirror, I already know you don't like yourself. I already know you don't like yourself. But you tell yourself what you think you're great, but you don't really like yourself. Because if you did, again, like I said, you got everything, right? Here's the person that got everything, right? Just imagine this: you got everything. You got privilege, money, car, you can travel, you own niggas, all that shit. And yet, you still ain't happy. Why? What is that we hold that you can't buy, you can't get no matter what it is? Then that tells you, when you look at yourself, who you really are. See, in my lowest state, I'm still probably better than you. Now, that ain't me being facetious trying to say that I'm better. So I'm just saying, these people who got all this hate, you got all this damn hate for what? Have you asked yourself, oh, is it about my skin color? Or is it about what I hold in my essence that you can't get? Like you say, you dream in color. You dream in color. So anyway, here it is. James Brown might have been killed for his royalties because the wife ended up gone, right? So who knows now, right? That's just the game. That's how what people will do, right? People say you don't own nothing, but you can't own none of your own stuff. Here you the maker, you got the gift. You can do all the dancing and do all the shows, but you can't reap all the benefits that come from it because you got to be managed. Like, what the hell I really need you for? Because the way I set the game up, there's going to be contracts and you got to think Ryan Prince because I'm going to steal as much as I can if you don't pay attention. If your ass ain't paying attention to the words that I'm using, I'm going to steal all that. You understand me? So you believe ease. You don't understand, so you're going to have to get a lawyer, which he's going to be somehow connected to me and my boys. And you get what I'm saying? All this stuff. And then wonder why we always talking about somebody always robbing, stealing, cheating. Because that's the way you set up your whole thing is like that. Everything about that. Because if you didn't need a mug, you'd have never used them. If you could do it yourself, think about this. Those who got children. Sometimes, depending on what kind of relationship you got your children. Love their parents. One day, maybe it was Father's Day or Mother's Day, something like that. They try to cook you breakfast. You be like, all right. And we talking about they little. Now, coming there, they done give you some concoction. something they try to even make. Now, even though it's all tore up and, you know what I'm saying, you be like, you'll try to eat it just to make them happy. Right? But you wouldn't let them keep cooking every damn day for you because you know damn well they can't do it. Right? So what would you do? You go do it yourself. Right? If I looked at my kids and felt like you too incompetent, you ain't smart to do what I need to do, why I'm going to keep having you do it? If I'm all that, I'm going to go do it my damn self. But you ain't built like that. You ain't built like that. But you tell yourself you built like that. But we all know. We all know. You see? So that's the whole thing. We hold what you wish you could have, and you mad at us. It's kind of like a stepchild. Or, matter of fact, that movie called The Good Son. Remember that? When the guy over the mountain, they called him a Caucasian, and then she had her own son, and they both hang over the damn mountain. But that was a girl who died, and then because of her kinship with the girl, she didn't want to. She had a choice to make: let go my son, or the one my son who's an ass and ain't shit, and then this one here is a good son, and I know my son is Damien. Let her damn son go, didn't she? Huh? Let her damn son go. Because even though, see, that's how some people is. No, you just as devil-hearted and evil as you want to be. But you want to betray yourself. I was good. It's you guys. Well, I think them scriptures said, illuminate himself like the light. Walks around looking to devour. Like he don't even exist. Right? All right. So you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep fighting what I'm doing. I got to do anyway. But anyway, that's James Brown's for y'all. And again, I'm supposed to do that some time back. I have some other stories. I want to make sure I got all the... did y'all see this? Oh, do I got that one in here? Let me see if I got this one here. Let's see if I got that in here. I might got that in here. Because I seen some other stuff, too. I seen the stuff with Spike Lee. That shit was kind of funny, too, right? No one told me. No one told me. Right? Now, what was that all about? Everybody about to go ahead and talk about, what was that all about? Spike Lee, been coming to the damn stadium for just shit. Then since he was a kid, his father brought him, right? 30, 40 years or whatever, something like that. And one day you come, and you know how it goes, those who have been through that rigmarole before, we need to talk to you. What? He in the elevator, right? He in the elevator. Can we talk to you for a second? You're not supposed to use the elevator. Okay, let's just say that be the stuff. Now, again, everybody going to have their issues, whether you like Spike, pro Spike, whatever it might be. I'm just talking about the situation. Again, we Black Minds News over here. We talk about issues that affect black people on the daily. I know now white people, you could be in here, you could be here, and again, that don't blanket all of you, and I know there's some of you consider yourself to be the good ones, right? So that means you're going to have to understand, you're going to have to learn how to listen when shit being said, because you got to be in agreement, because you know what it is. So we have to talk about it because that's just what it is. That's just the game, and that's how we live in this shit, right? So anyway, so what was it that you see a black man that is pretty much an icon of your New York Knicks? He's synonymous with the team. The good and the bad, right? Most time it was the bad. But anyway, so comes in, scans his ticket, then they decide, nah, but you can't come in. We're going to escort your ass out. And you're not supposed to be coming in here. Now, again, there should be some receipts showing that. Now, again, I heard somebody say, well, he got an email. You know how many, I'm trying to get an email. If your ass ain't watching your shit every damn day, shit done gone past, shit in the spam part. There's a lot of shit your shit could be in that you didn't see. But I guess when it comes to paying that to pay for that them seats, I mean, ain't no question about that. When it's time to get them, I bet they don't let you sit in them damn seats and your ass ain't paid. I bet they know how to get in contact with you then, right? So I'm pretty sure they could get in contact if it was that important. They could have did it. So now somebody wants to make a spectacle of the situation, right? They're going to make a spectacle out of this. Yeah, I like to think he's doing the right thing. And what was the movie he had? Some other stuff he's doing. And then I didn't like that shit. I seen the damn Oscar had a fucking Kobe suit. I didn't like that shit. Huh? I didn't like it. And now he's in the academy. He think he walking around here like he's somebody. Now again, everybody may not feel the same way by spite. I'm not saying whether pro, for, no, I'm just saying situation. Now we had seen some earlier with an ex-player. It was Charles Oakley, right? Remember Charles Oakley in there? Charles Oakley was like, man, you better get your hands up off me, homie. Shoving, had his hand around the neck, boy. Oakley from Virginia. You know what I'm saying? He from 1619. You know what I'm saying? He cut from that cloth. You know what I'm saying? History, he had no problem. He didn't force her. He didn't care. He like, shit, let's go. He showed it. It took a whole police force, right? Even in a suit, and he had on his steppers, right? Now again, we ain't not condoning violence, but we just saying the situation that happened. But I have never ever seen a white man get escorted out of a situation like that. I ain't never seen that. Not like that. Now, if he drunk and belligerent, that's different. We're just talking about somebody who's seen there might be just a disagreement, and we can see that you are putting your hand on, but they do show that part where he putting his hand on his neck. And guess what? They all on him, making a big spectacle. Oh, the big buck nigga. Look at his ass, huh? Big ass buck in here. I can go on wild. I'm going to have to shoot him in front of everybody, huh? But you see Phil Jackson was looking over there like, no, come on, cut this shit out, man. I'm the Zen master, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't supposed to be having this shit. You know what I'm saying? Coaches and black men that go together, right? White coach and a black man, you know what I'm saying? You know, man, come on. What's this about? So again, the same owner. Well, what you got a problem with, man? So it's kind of like people be having these little things that stuck in their crawl, and then if they got an opportunity to use it, they go ahead and they do it, and it's like, damn, man. This man, I mean, okay, he came in the wrong elevator. Y'all could have resolved it? And then in the article, it talks about how you escorted him, had to escort him to his seat, not out the building, escort him to his seat. Like, damn, wait a minute. All this? He a paying customer, he talk about, what, shit, I'm spending about $10 million and all the time? Somebody put $10 million invested into your business. It's kind of like you when you be calling get that takeout, get that pizza and shit, right? The place you always call a lot, right? And then sometimes your order be bad. You have to call and tell the manager, hey, man, you know, this, you just sent me here, this shit a little overcooked. The shit didn't taste too good. Now, kind of rapport you got with him, what it end up happening is he either going to send you a complimentary or he going to say the next time I'm going to cook it myself and I'm going to make sure it's right. Because, again, he knows how much you order. Let's say you type person, again, I'm just hypothetically speaking, you order 3 to 4 times a week in it. So, you know, that's some money. You spend about $30. That's $120 times 4. We're talking about $400, $500 a month from you, just you alone. So I'm going to be making sure, make sure this person here, because this one put money in my, you know what I'm saying? But this one here also put money in there, and he also give you some kind of, you know, you got Jack Nicholson over here, you know, you got your icon actor, some part that's synonymous with your team that you ain't even paying. But you know what you said? Nah, But Spike would not say what he know what it was. He would not say it. Because why? He's now in the academy. He's in the academy now. He can't say that kind of stuff now, right? He one of them now, right? He can't say that now. Oh, no, you can't have that conversation now, right? King and the Queen of Soul, R.I.P. Okay, let's see. Yakabia saying that set up in the dough. Set up in the dough. Yes, I'm going back on some of the comments, y'all, because I know I got cut off. Look at what happened to Sam Cooke and many others. Yeah, that's when it comes to all that. Yeah, when you talking about with the James Brown situation. But all that is tied together. It's like people are getting fed up with like black celebrityism, which there's a black civil war going on amongst us as to like, okay, the black grassroots, the BADOS, we're looking at them and saying the advocacy and things that they should be sitting and standing up for, right? And some of them are coming to a crossroad. They want to have 1 feet. See, we used to have 1 feet pretending that you in, but really both feet's on the other side. But now we're trying to hold people accountable and saying, okay, you black? You see what just happened, right? How come y'all ain't saying nothing? You used to get away with that. But see, that's why I said the creator created social media. See, the white man, when he didn't look at social media like this. He had another idea for it. And then when you look at the difference between, let's say, if we was to break down the internet or social media into just different parts ethnically. When you go look over on the white side, they're going to be talking about aliens and fucking weird shit, right? That's what they're going to be talking about. And the Hispanics going to be talking about, they talking about China, we're going to talk about technology, right? You know what you find in the black corner? Or matter of fact, you're going to be seeing in the white too, going to be cats and animals. I mean, shit, have you noticed all the damn animals that be in white people's house? Like, where the hell y'all getting all these damn animals from anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't an animal left in Africa nowhere. They all in white people's house now, right? They'll get mad. What you leaving for? What you getting mad for? White folks got all the damn animals in your damn house. Like, damn, I see cougars and shit. I see all kinds of shit in your house. Go to black people's house, you might see a dog, a cat. You don't see too many cats in black people's house. Oh, black people don't. I'm saying like a lot of people don't like. I'm not saying we don't, but I don't be seeing too many pictures with them. You might got a cat, but I'm saying you see some kind of dog or something like that, right? But these motherfuckers be having people telling truth, what's going on with them. So why everybody so angry when we over here talking what we talking about when y'all talking what y'all talking about? That's your interest. Why the interest? What the stuff that we talk about make you so angry? Because we just gonna just reveal. Because this is the life that we live in. And this is what we're going to talk about. The thing is, we don't have institutions and stuff to have somewhere to be sitting where, be private. And if we did, you're going to have somebody in there anyway. So this is all obvious. This is all in the public. So it's just going to be saying, we're just going to talk for what it is. So anyway, if anybody got upset with it, so be it. It is what it is. We ain't got to make no apologies because we living. Why we got to apologize when you doing the thing? Now, the other thing I want to talk about too, so we're talking about that. You know that brother that they executed the other day? So again, that day they cut me off. I couldn't get in for that one, right? The brother that was in Alabama, Nathaniel Woods, right? Y'all heard, did anybody hear about that story? Tragedy, man, right? Now, again, the situation was that he supposedly had been somewhere and another individual that was there ended up shooting 3 cops. And accordingly, this individual who shot the cops even said he did it. He wrote it. He said it. But yet, they went on ahead and did what they did. Again, I got to tell you over here, you'll never hear Black Minds News condoning, like when we wrong. I'm not going to say we right when we wrong. We don't condone violence, regardless of what color your ass is. But we just see that there's different standards of stuff. I mean, a lot of people try to get involved in that situation. Even Martin Luther King Jr.'s son, Martin III, tried to intervene for what that would have any significance in it. But to no avail, Nathaniel Woods lost his life. Now, was he an innocent man in life? Well, that ain't we for us to judge about that. But on the situation and the topic that he was being held for and know he was innocent, then you have to ask yourself, what was that symbolic and representation for? Was that to send a message, right? Because it was Man convicted of killing 3 police officers. And he was the co-defendant. And yet, the article even said he was 100% innocent. And Spencer wrote from a prison in a handwritten letter released this week by one of Wood's attorneys. He said, I know this to be a fact because I'm the person that shot and killed all 3 of the officers. Wood's attorney have asked Alabama Governor Kay Levy to commute his sentence. Woods is to be executed by injection. So, this is after the fact now, right? This is after the fact. But the point is, when we always been saying that there's difference in law between there's black law and white law. That's what we just seen here. If you can receipts and show and get witness to, then that's your man. But if somebody's gonna sit there and say, I did it, I did all 3, does that have any merit? Or are you saying, no, he's going to go because he was there? Or we're going to use this to send a message to any one of yous. You know how they say yous. Any one of yous, try this. I want this in your mind. If you're anywhere around, part about it, even if you didn't do it, you're going to get it too. I don't care what the law says. Where's the law? What we say. Like the dictionary says, what we say. That's what the dictionary is, what we say. And who is we, right? So there it was. Nathaniel Woods. So that's sometimes that's one of those wrong place, wrong time, right? Scenarios that end up costing your life. But he lost his life, but all the people who have their part in that, right? All the people who have their parts into that. Oh, you wearing something too now. You may just think, again, right? We see where some of our people go through the same process, and we'll see as we become the people, and then we start to review what happened, and then we see that according to the way that you spent it, that it's not according to what you said, and we be like, damn, they killed that brother, and then it's their turn, and then what happening is they're adjudicated or they're exonerated. And even when it is full guilty, remember this? You get this. What about this? I ain't going to do that because that image is so damn disturbing. You want to peek at it? I'll give you a peek at it. Let me see if I got it. Yeah, I got it. I'll give you a little peek at that one, Give you a peek, just to show. Otherwise, this is what they want from you right here. Right? This is what they want. This is what they want from you. This is what they want from you. That's what they want. Everybody remember that image, don't you? Remember that image? That's what they want from you. That's what they want. That's what they want. When we're wrong, this is what we want from you. Right? But when you're wrong, you're not getting that. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that. No, sir. You don't get that. Hold you to every letter and whatever other clause that we got underneath that. Can't believe that. Again, like I said, I don't know the man's whole history. But I just know this is a situation. And according to what y'all saying, if he's innocent, then how did he get legal? How did he get injected? How did nobody, he didn't get a stay. Because it was a message to be sent. And a lot of people, they kind of went in and went out their ear. They said it for the day, and that's just what it is. But it was a message to be sent, and they sent it. Everybody just went on like, okay, you know, it is what it is. Let me go ahead and what else I got in here for you? I got that. I got that too. So a lot of my stuff I put together because I didn't think it was gonna let me get it off. So I want to give y'all something. I didn't want to again let y'all go by and be like people falling out of here. Like, hey, I thought the guy was gonna come on. It's not coming on. Anyway, did y'all see that video in where the black man got arrested in New York? Did y'all? The one he was screaming. He was screaming for his life. Said the video showing the New York City police officer arresting a young black man sparked outrage and illicit questions about the amount of force used to make the arrest in a city where mistrust of police remains high more than 5 years after Eric Garner's death from an officer's chokehold. Fitzgerald Gale, 20, pleads for his help in the video, recorded by a woman who then tweeted as several officers wrestled him into submission Wednesday evening on a Brooklyn sidewalk. When Gale asked a lone plainclothes officer why he was being stopped, the officer did not appear to answer before uniformed backup rushed in. Police Commissioner Dermot Shea said Thursday he was ordering an internal investigation. This was painful to watch, Mayor de Blasio tweeted. He still needs to get all the facts about the case and a full investigation is underway. But I don't like what I saw. It doesn't reflect what we're building in New York City. The city's largest police union responded on Twitter calling the de Blasio remarks anti-police rhetoric. Ain't that something? See? You can see with your eyes, but you're not to believe what your eyes see. Right? I'm surprised that he got off. This is why I don't have what I normally would have. Those who are avid watchers know you don't just get me doing this. You're going to get the visual. But since it came off, I said, well, let me go ahead. Right? So I'm going to do it anyway. So even if I play, you can hear the background. But I'm pretty sure most of y'all seen that. And it kind of like goes back to the Rodney King situation. For me, that would be the beginning of like kind of like social media and videos. It beat the shit out of Rodney, right? Again, he might have been under intoxication, under the influence of drugs or whatever. But what we seen that night, and then once they tried to, clean it up, what they said and what we seen did not match. So here was people seeing the video of what they saw. And because he didn't stick on code, de Blasio, and say he had to say, because again, he understands that the city and the turmoil that was going on in New York, they said, hey, that's anti-police rhetoric you're saying. See? Wait a minute. How's that anti-police rhetoric when you see 8, 9 motherfuckers jump in one? And, standing on ankles. We don't know what they doing to head, crushing on the, you know what I'm saying? I'm throwing punches in your ribs. We don't see all that. We just hear my man screaming, right? We just hear him screaming for damn hell. He just basically thinking he about to die. That's basically what it is. So is all this, kind of like some fear? You just trying to instill this fear? Like, you want to be the bully and go down the street, back in the old and walking down the street, motherfucker, everything going out the way. That's, what I'm saying? That's what they want. They want that kind of respect. Get out the way, move, huh? You see them, that's always been there anyway. When we was coming up as shorties, right? You see Po, you ain't got to be on nothing. You go the other way, right? Sometimes the name of the game, those who from where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? You see police, y'all was bored. We bored and shit, right? See police just start running. Ain't done shit to start running and shit, right? I'm finna chase you. But everybody in there already know, back in the day we used to have gangways and fences and could go roof to roof. You know what I'm saying? It's motherfucker better be good in shape. please don't take me to jail, because, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, you could just run, and police would just jump out the car, and after your act, you ain't done shit, you just ran. You can see you ran, you just, all of a sudden, you had to be doing something wrong. So, you run, and then when they catch you, if they should catch you, they roughhousing you up. What are you running for? I just ran because I seen you. Right? I just ran. And that's how it go, right? So in this situation, here it is. Y'all just, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just want to get one in. Kind of like that same situation in New York with that little sister that they all jumped. All them teenagers jumped that one girl. Now, I don't know. Again, you know, I've been that age before. We all been that age before. But when I came up, you didn't jump. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It was like one-on-one. And then maybe it might be a two-on-one, depending on somebody getting the best, and, you know, a friend want to try to jump in and try to help you. You know what I'm saying? But this whole mob action, beating up one person, we didn't do that. Unless, you know, we all together in this kind of like some kind of event, and everybody you roll with, we all going. But you don't, again, unless you did something that was detrimental to everybody, then everybody said they were trying to get a piece. But again, I don't know all the ins and outs of that anyway. That's kind of a little new to me anyway. But y'all was in there my man was screaming for, you know, for life. And it seemed like some people get more amped up because they got you in that position. It's like, damn, how y'all feel being in that position, knowing y'all got people in fear like that? That make you feel good? Like, damn, man. That's just where we at now these days, man. There might be somebody that be sitting up in here listening to me and they mad because I'm saying this. But, you know, if you had to be like us and we out here moving around, and like I said, as a kid, we see you and see the police and we just run and we could get a good chase. Now, if you get caught, yeah, you got to deal with what comes with it. But, you know, if you bored and you just run. Like, everybody scattered. You don't run the same way. Like, somebody run, hey, where you riding? Where I run, right? Somebody get caught. Come on, man. He called us. What you talking about? We called. Yeah, nigga, right? So, but that's that situation in New York, man. It's like, you know, let me see out here. Stop, please. Boston brother is in love with Amber. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why I said I didn't want to show that, Black Beauty. I didn't want to show that. That image is very damaging. That image is like, man, it's very damaging. And then remember that I was doing the stories over here. Remember I said we're going to get no money. Remember that? Remember I put it out before that. I thought we weren't going to get no money. You did all that. Now, I'm not saying that money is going to be in exchange for bringing your brother back or just to make your life comfortable. But the word that they taught us is called justice. And it seemed like justice for the life is an equivalent to money. And so if you're going to go through all that, and I understand what the indoctrination going to get you, because that's what that indoctrination going to do, to turn the cheek. You know, see, that's the thing about with our melanin, right? Our melanin make us love so hard, and we can hate so hard, right? Like when we get into something, think about it. When we behind something, when we as black folks, when we the ones saying, you know what, we supporting this and we behind this and this is we in and we into it, oh, we can make a dead horse live. We can turn a dead horse and make it live. When we ain't in it, just like you seeing in this Democratic, you see what's happening in this election, they don't want to say it though, right? They time everything else, right? You gonna put somebody over, he ain't gonna make nothing happen. What's his name from South Carolina? Hey, man, black folks like, look, we told you what we talking about. You ain't talking about that? You ain't got no shot. Especially Bernie, he knew he was burnt up. Huh? You try to get that was gonna go run something. This is the foundation of that whole organization that y'all created. It was take the slave numbers and then the poor whites, right? And that became your Democratic Party, right? Then you try to filter it in with the immigrants, right? But the base of that is always was going to be us. That's why you keep trying to, keep bringing in, right? Keep trying to, dilute these numbers, right? But to this point right now, we still got that power. And so now when we say, we ain't fucking with you. Oh, now you can't work. Now you can't win. You can't win now because you don't want to have that conversation. And nobody want to have that conversation. So you're right. See, that's how it goes. Nobody want to deal with that conversation because nobody wants to see, they don't want to see us in that light. It's beneficial for everybody to see us all toe the fuck up, right? Let's just be honest about it. Black people in the detriment state make everybody feel like they're a little better than somebody. Huh? I need to say that again. Black people in their detriment states, and that's not going to be all of us, because again, we're not monolithic. Those in that position, that's really the grease to the system. As long as that's there, guess what happens? I'm better than somebody. It's kind of like somebody did a video the other day. There was somebody with the Chinese was talking all this stuff and talking about how stupid we is and ooh, this, and that. And we let, Chinese come into our neighborhoods and, everybody try to use that. Oh, y'all let everybody. Wait a minute. What neighborhood do we have? Black people mostly are renters. We have owners, right? But we are probably mostly are renters. So if we're renting, we don't have control. That's why what they call it, rejustification. If we own, how could you rejustify the area that we in if we owned it? Now that would be stupid if we own the communities and then we allow people to come in and we selling it. Then we got an issue. We got some internal issues going on here. But that don't be the truth. But see, people will like to tell you from their perspective and tell you that, yeah, you guys just like Indian. You just don't, because you don't want to really understand the real design of what we in. And then you get mad because you hear somebody talking about it. You guys are always complaining. You're a fucking victim. I'm no fucking victim. But the game is what it is. Y'all don't want to admit that shit. So when we live in environments that have these incidents chronically, right? Like chronically, we had these kind of issues with dealing with this. And we've been saying it for so long when there was no video. Man, like I said, going back to Rodney King. Rodney King was the beginning of it. Then here we is now where phone and everybody got it on their hand. And then you start having the social media where you could post it. It used to be we was always saying this. They always saying this. And then when you start seeing it get in you dating, it was too much. Too much. It's too much. It can't be what that is. What? Every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. So, right. And this old joke is, well, black people, they're all innocent in jail. They're all in, and then you start seeing people being exonerated after 30, 40 years of being locked up. Ain't found out they never did nothing. So what about if you exonerate somebody who went to jail and then the people who were tied into it are still in position and have, let's say some of these cases had something to do with people going into different positions, getting elevated. Should they be able to lose all that shit too? No. Nope. I was young. See, forgiveness then. But I be damned, don't let me go. You're going to hold everything I ever did in my damn face. Right? Use all your history on you. Well, nothing. Rooting to the tomb. We're going to detail everything, right? So we live in them environments. And we've been dealing with that. We used to cry all the time about that. To the point that you just have to take it. So, okay, it is what it is. So now you can see it. You can see it. And what they'll say is, because he doesn't go in agreement to it, that he's saying rhetoric. Anti-police rhetoric. Ain't nothing anti. It's just, it is or it's not. Either y'all doing this shit or you're not doing this shit. They said that the whole incident, what happened with the boy in New York, was based on the simple fact about smoking weed in the park. What? Basically, the country almost going into just basically legalizing marijuana. That whole incident was based on the fact fled when the police had approached them and another man as they were smoking weed in a park around 7 p.m. that night. And I guess afterward they got the other dude, so we don't know what happened to him too, right? But according to them, there was supposed to have been a gun. Then they said something about there was a gunshot in the area. See, that's what I'm saying. You stop just grabbing shit, right? You know, just stop grabbing. I'm just going, I need something to fit. Come on, fucking gunshots, yeah, all right. Anything that could be just, it's kind of like getting pulled over by the police and they say no seatbelt. Who knows there was a seatbelt between you and the damn officer? Questionable, right? Loud muffler. Questionable, unless you have a video showing there you driving and look, Your Honor, right? Air freshener blocking your view. Questionable, but that's what he pulled you over for, right? So, you know, Miles can play. When you know, any job that you got, you can play. When you understand how your job goes, you know how to play within the rules and the confines of the game. But in this case, you'll be dealing with, you know, deterring somebody's life. You can have somebody like 1 minute, their life was going normal. And you can cause total chaos in their life because they fighting something that's something they didn't even do. And here you is going on with life like nothing never happened. And then you have the system that's going to fight for you and everything else. And you can create a whole havoc on somebody, wreak some havoc on somebody's life. And they got to fight through that whole detriment, which can cause. Oh, I remember I had a friend. We hooped all day one day. And I was with him. I was like, we went to play ball, and then we seen these two white dudes just run up on the court and grab him. And we looking like, we about to get into it. They put my hand on cops. Okay. What's up? Why you grab my man? You know what I'm saying? There's two white women in the car talking about he raped them. I'm like, what? What do you mean he raped them? They put him in the handcuffs. He was a senior in high school about to graduate. No graduation for him. He fighting that damn case. Mama worked for I think Mama was a CO. They still locked him up because they said he did it. He was with us the whole time. Guess what? Messed that whole man's life up. Messed his whole life up. And see, I'm saying, people don't be seeing the detriment of that. They just think because they got a job and they do it. Again, I'm not saying we don't need police. I'm just saying that sometimes you got, this motherfucker just ain't right. They got a job. Like I said earlier in the show. Somebody belligerent working at a job and they attitude, like making your food, you can taste the attitude in your shit. Man, I don't eat this shit. Shit tastes nasty. What's wrong with it? Same thing with other things. Belligerent. Mother's got a job because it pays the bills. And then frustrated. And I'm going to take out some of my shit on you. And then I may be diabolical in my mind. Like, oh, fuck your life. I don't like you. Put you through some shit. So every time you see me, you run from me. Look at him. He's scared I'm going to get him. Huh? That kind of shit, right? So that young man was out there screaming for his damn life, man. Screaming for his life. Huh? And that's the same thing we're talking about, stop and frisk. You heard that shit that Bloomberg said? Pull him up against the wall and check him. Wait a minute. Let's say if you was driving in your big fancy, whatever car a billionaire drive, right? And he didn't see you in the car. You parked the car and you had to walk a block to get to the place because it's all crowded. He just come and just grab you and frisk you and throw you up against a wall. But he probably wouldn't because you already got a suit, right? You look the part, right? So you look the part. So he ain't going to do you like that, right? But the so-called stereotype, if you fit that, you could be as innocent as you want to be. But if you fit the description, We can stop and frisk you, right? And that's okay. That's fine with everybody. No, don't say nothing. And then the same situation with Eric Gardner. That was crazy as hell, too. Over loose cigarettes? Loosies? Was that preventable at all, or was there more to it? He gone now, right? But that's why the people are getting in an uproar and so forth, because they looking at the situation like, hey man, come on, man. I'm just traversing, trying to live. Ain't nobody trying to. You can't do that. Can't do that. So, like Beauty says, I'm no longer a Christian because of all this foreigner nonsense. If I had to forgive people that have done my people and for me for hundreds of years, then I should also love and forgive the devil. Do not get me wrong. I believe in the Creator. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. All right, so what else I got in here? I'm going to talk about that too, Black Beauty, but move on to something. We'll get to something else. I just want to talk about, because again, I seen that story. Like I said, today is kind of one of these shows that I'm doing today is just kind of a random show, stuff that I had set up, but based on the assassination tip on my system that they did 3-4 days ago, I just got it operated, and I said, well, let me just jump in, because after the day, we don't know what's going to happen, right? But they sure did it. All right, so I had another story in here that I'm pretty sure y'all. I got this story here. This I'm gonna put a little light in this one. This one here for those who you may have already known, right? Because I've seen something very interesting about this, right? Have you ever heard of a man named what's that brother name again? Let me see. Let me see if I got a picture of him. Let me see if I got the picture of him. I want y'all to see this. I got that brother in here. Maybe I'll say him for last. Well, how about this one? I got one. Here we go. Hold on. Let's do this one. Now, again, I do this story not because I'm making fun of anybody in particular. I'm just doing this because this is Black Minds News, and that's what we do over here. We just report what's already general on news. We just do it from a black perspective, that's all. Now, there's a lot of y'all into sports, and you know what I'm saying, this is the season for basketball, right? So did any of y'all check out the Wizard game, the Washington Wizard game the other night? Did y'all check that game out? Did y'all see that one? Let me see. Wait. Do I got it in here? Hold on. What happened to it? Before I show that, let me make sure I got it in here. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Did anybody check that game out? Let me see if did anybody see that game? Then there was something that happened at the halftime show. Let me show how they sneaking it in on you. And some of y'all was in there gawking at it like, you might have seen it. You know, sometimes you don't even pay attention to the halftime show. And then there's some people who all into the halftime show, right? Did just know this took place. Let me show you something. Did you see that? Did you notice that was in there? You might have seen a little puff. You thought that mug was like, oh, you like, wait a minute, what's that? You didn't know that the halftime show will feature its first performance by an openly trans woman. Huh? Did y'all see that? You was out there, doing the rotation and all that. You got caught up. You ain't know what in the world is that, a man or a girl. Huh? You didn't know. You didn't know what it was. And so, the first openly transgender woman Friday's night halftime show at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., where the Washington Wizards were set to play. The Atlanta Hawks become the first openly transgender woman performing at an NBA halftime show. Huh? Riley Knox, a 38-year-old, 38. Huh? Wait a minute. Shit, I think in basketball you're in your prime at 36, right? Right? So, wait a minute. So what's the prime for, what they call a performance dancer, a cheerleader? What's the prime for that? Right? I mean, is this getting a hand out of hand. This, and you was sitting there watching that halftime at Washington, the Washington-Atlanta game, and you seen that, he would have been sound like Malik Yoba. He would talk like Malik Yoba, right? He say, right? He don't like men. He like men who women, right? Right? So he's saying that's still a woman. So that's what they saying. Okay, that's a woman. So we're not fooling you. We told you it's there, but you know, that's what it was, right? So you know, maybe you see them, maybe you didn't see them. Yeah, I get that. I know some of y'all in there might be a little, you know, it might be disturbing for some of y'all. Maybe not. You know, I just want to bring it to because I'm pretty sure somebody might have seen that game and didn't know, but they put it out there, right? And I'm pretty sure they done did that before. I'm pretty sure they, you know, been doing it because it's like I won't go into the Dwayne Wade son situation. I'm not gonna go in there, and I know he just went on that red carpet, right? So you got to ask yourself, what's going on here? Why everybody trying to inundate on us like this? Now their life is their life, and they're gonna live it, and they're gonna do what they're gonna do. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Do I think that, you know, my son who's biologically born a son and becomes somehow, you know, believing now he is from a mental aspect a female, and at the age that you are, it would be one thing if you start to become sexual, right? Now, if you starting to, you know, from the date and get into, and you're of age and doing all that, maybe we gonna say, but right now you just need to be focusing on learning whatever lessons you probably doing. We trying to figure out what it is you trying to do in life. I don't know why this big rush about you trying to figure this part out. So then we have to say what is really being inundated into these curriculums in these schools that somebody's that young unless it's at home. So there could be some at home influence too, right? Right? It could be something, you know, some things, you know, or something could have happened. We never know, right? You got to cover all four corners. You can't just say it's just this one way. And so, you know, they just bombarding it. Oh, he on the red carpet. He got one at the halftime show. I'm hearing stuff like they're saying, well, if a heterosexual, and it seems like y'all talking about the black man, if a heterosexual black man does not want to, I think I seen the term was called, what do they call it, bro something. Some term, you know, they got a term for damn everything. And it's about heterosexual man having a relationship with a gay black man, but not in a sexual. Bromance or some shit, I think it was. Right? Like bromance, right? And then I was seeing some people talking about some, well, if a heterosexual black man don't want to have relations with a transgender or something, hey, man. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. It's really crazy. Like, you know, you birds of the feather flock together. Like whatever, you know, like if you doing certain things, you go where certain people at. Right? You have the areas where you go and you do what you do. But infringing, like it's kind of like saying that I can be a heterosexual, but we can't have parades and shit talking about, hey, then they'll be saying we're hating. And so I'm like, okay. So then I just keep mine to what I'm doing, you keep yours to you. But why you kind of keep just saying you got to have, look, huh? Gotta accept me. You in somebody's family, right? I don't see, have y'all been seeing anything lately where people just going out and just going against them? A lot of people trying to stay the hell away, trying not to get involved with none of that, right? They do what they do, and you keep hearing people say, they doing what they doing. That's what they doing. But it's not like you can't stay in your yard. You're encroaching. You're encroaching in my yard. And damn, I got to defend my yard because you trying to encroach on me. It's like, wait, hold on, man. Slow up. You know what I'm saying? Give me some elbow room. You trying to take all the space. And everything. Like, somebody being a bully here. Right? Somebody is bullying. So I asked myself a question. You might ask yourself a question too. If we, and on this show we have talked about, or I talked about, that census coming up. And I seen something the other day talking about the census that they're saying that the census thing already is skewing the numbers, dropping people, not counting. Already? Yes. What? Already? So, I done said on this show, and I done did something where I show statistics. Well, y'all keep saying black people 13. We've been saying that shit, 13. We only 13, 12%, 12%. Then they show other people in a 40-year growth, and and then when they talk about, well, these people can't have children, but they say, you're having children, and this, you, the blacks, the Hispanics, the Asian, everybody having children, but these only have children. Well, if we're having children, how come our percent can't go past 13? Why are we always like at 13, 14 damn percent? Somebody lying. Somebody lying. So maybe this inundation that we seeing, trying to convince, propagandize to us, it's kind of like birth control, right? Kind of like another form of birth control, because, you keep smoking that GMO weed, y'all think y'all buying at these damn dispensaries. Oh, yeah, I said it. Y'all know what y'all smoking. Ain't no damn weed that damn loud. What? You can be in the basement, and I could be on the third floor of my building. I can smell like I'm getting high like you getting high. There ain't no regular weed. So what is that they in there conducting? What kind of Frankenstein shit is they doing? But you ain't been around long enough to know that. But anyway, right? You ain't been around long enough. But anyway, I'm just saying, you just constantly encroaching on my yard, man. You don't give me no room. To the fact that we seeing people so damn young, like, that shouldn't even be the main focus or what their agenda should be about. I understand there's some questionability about sexuality as you get certain ages and what but now at that age and talking about having the what do you call that, the medical procedure, the surgery, that what? So they did it right in front of you. And why I say the basketball, because who's watching? Yeah, everybody watch, but who really watching? You get what I'm saying? Now, for one people, that's just was always in their culture, at least what history tells us, right? It started in this culture here, and, just matriculated and went everywhere else. And then there's also stipulation of people who are getting what they were called, stipends by other countries. They'll say, all right, now we're going to give you this money, but you're going to have to be able to say that you can't do that old way you're used to and prohibit this. Otherwise, we won't give you the money, right? So you got people on the continent, they had to fight that too, but they submit because they was hungry, so they're going to do it, right? So everybody just being encroached on. But I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying this. If the issue about that, whether that is right or wrong, because right or wrong, right, I guess it depends on the foundation of the teaching of where you come from. Like if you got a biblical, foundation, then if the book told you something, and the book is supposed to be an institution that is instituted by those who colonized us, then somebody wrong. Either what the book said is right, or what you doing is right. In this case, they're saying both right. So if both right, then that leaves you who? Confused. Right? Both people you confused because you don't know where you coming or going. You have no idea that you coming or going. All you know is book told me this here, but they say we doing this here. So that's where the church and the state come in at, right? The church say this, the state say this, right? So, hey, church, are you right? Did God say that? Or y'all made that shit up? What? Oh, no, he ain't going to say that. Because when he say God didn't say that, then everything that they say in that book is like a court case. Guess what happened? You got no credibility. So they not going to say nothing, right? State say this, but then the state will say that, see? So people confused. So what we're going to do is, like I said earlier, black people make a dead horse lie. When black people support something, everybody else going to follow suit. That's what it's about, y'all. It's about getting you to conform and make it acceptable. Because originally when they tried to pass that in California, they got mad as hell at the blacks in California because they shot it down the first time. Remember that? They shot it down, right? So they're mad at black folks. Ooh, you guys are your haters. You are homophobes, right? All that they threw on us. But again, we as BADOS, Black American Descendants of Slaves in this land, the first teaching that we got came from that. And God had to be real to us because, again, what we've been through. Now you're going to say, that ain't what God said. You didn't read that in that book. Now, if somebody, and that should happen to be you, we still going to love you. We ain't going to hate. That's something you got to deal with, right? See that? They're trying to make it seem like we be going all our way and trying to hate and do it. No, you don't see that. So it's like we had that in our families. That wasn't nothing new. Now, again, it wasn't like the community and all that stuff. We understand that. But what they done did it now, it's just like you encroaching now. You all in my yard now. I ain't supposed to say nothing. Now, again, according to my property says, these are the specifications of my yard. Now you all in my damn yard. Get your ass out of my damn yard, right? Anyway. That's what that was. Now, some people came and left. That's all right. It's all right. Again, it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody. Showbiz said to be mostly transgender performers. Showbiz said, huh? Yeah. Again, I don't got no hate towards. That's your preference. What you do in your bed is what you do. I'm not in your bed with you. You know, like I said, when you see people out and about and walking about, other than that, which is either overly, let's say, flamboyant, right? When it's just over the top, like somebody you just too much, right? You really on you, huh? Then other than that, nobody would really know. Now again, there may be some telltale signs, you know, but nobody ain't going all out that way. People ain't like that. But it just seemed like there's like just such an attack on what we would consider the way we all got here, right? Because anything else, house is going to procreate. How you going to make a replication? You can't. But, you know, to each his own. Well, I'm at the 136 mark. All right, we'll go a little bit more. We go a little more. And hopefully tomorrow's show, I'll have everything up and going. Yeah, let me go ahead and I'm gonna do this one. Then I got one, but then I'm gonna just end the show after this. I got this one. Did y'all see this one here? Let me go show you this one. Did y'all see this here? Let me see if I get this. Let me find the story if I got it. Did y'all see that? I had the video too, right? Did y'all see that? Shocking video shows a New York City subway rider spraying an Asian man and yelling at him to move, right? Because of the coronavirus, right? Right? You see the Asian man? My man just, you know, spraying him with Febreze, right? He just went off and started spraying him like he infectious or something, right? Well, you know, they say what people see, they believe, right? So, you know, is coronavirus what they say it is, or is you sensationalizing it? Because some people would say, well, you know, what about the flu? They say, you know how much flu every year and how many people die from flu? Again, maybe this was something the cat got out the bag, right? Maybe it was originally for something else, and it got out of the confinement. It's kind of like, what was that? What was that? What bomb? What was that? Let's just say when they dropped the bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? And let's say after the explosion and the damage of, from the atomic bomb that they done blew up, you still got the residue in the air, right? It's still in the air. Let's say all the nuclear bombs and all that shit you done let off. That shit, does it ever, okay, like, I remember when I was in school, it might be different with y'all, that you couldn't get out of this damn place because of the Van Halen belt. Remember that shit? The Van Halen belt. You couldn't get your ass from Earth and get in the damn space because you blow the hell up, right? It's like the one time that I know that they tried that shit, it really blew up. Man, y'all remember that space shuttle that blew up? They tried to really get the hell up out of here. Okay. But other than that, you keep saying you out there working on something. How are you doing that in space? Anyway. So, oh, you want me out of here talking that shit. You don't like that part. You damn right? So, all I'm saying is that you say shit that sometimes it may not be what it is. Am I not saying corrupt? I can't say that or not. I hear some numbers and I'm seeing people so far, creator willing that, nobody that I know, people that, okay, I'm fine. Right? But because people get, again, like in being encroached in your mind, you'll get people reacting like that. And so, based on the history of where it originated from in Wuhan, so the average person who don't, sit down, analyze, or read and get into the whole history, they just know it came from China. So they see it Chinese. Right? I don't know if he BADOS. I can't say that's what he is or not. But he just went and go ahead and grab it for free, and he would just start spraying my man up. They had a video I would have showed it, but like I say, ain't nothing running today. But he so Chinese feel like they being discriminated against. So welcome to the party. Right? You're welcome to the party. Right? You've been late. But I think you got a lot of hate on your side as well, too. It's not going to come to us. So, people doing what they doing, can't get tissue, can't get hand sanitizers. Shit, you got some people buying a certain kind of liquor, right? All kinds of stuff going on out here, So it's like, hopefully it won't be as devastating. Shit, it's about to be springtime, right? Any place that you got to go that has a whole lot of people in it, you have to be kind of, wondering, right? And then some people say, I'm not going to live in fear. I'm just going to do what I do. Now, if you got underlying illnesses, then you have to kind of watch yourself, right? But being in Wuhan where it started, then there's also the fact that 5G was let out in Wuhan too. Anybody know about that? That 5G, right? So who knows? And then the same day that all broke, I remember I was going to do the story about Time had just released an article talking about the Chinese. They was in depopulation now. Because, them too, because they don't have enough women, right? They got all them damn men, and they ain't got no women. So how you going to populate? So you remember they getting women, the baby girl, kill the baby girl and keep the boy, right? But then how you going to make yourself? So now, you go on the continent and you seen these, black women. Everybody got their eyes on the prize. Because everybody else seemed to, can't create babies. So, once a mother could get in his mind that he can have some tinge in his baby, I think you going to be the eyes they looking at. Anyway, so that's what that is there, right? So that's just sensationalize a situation to the fact that he's overreacting. See, Chinese, I remember just went straight and get away with Febreze in them. I don't know what the hell Febreze got. Because I guess people thinking Lysol too can kill it too, right? So, we for BADOS, we used to have a lot of home remedies that you concoct when you get a certain thing and do. I don't know about today. I don't know if we still, some of us, still know some of the old remedies, home remedies that used to work about for certain things. But it just go to sensationalism of the virus, or coronavirus. Right? Then a mug would go out of his way and see a Chinese and all that. So I guess that would be the same thing when it used to be like, see a black man walking down the street, people, white woman clutching a purse, right? Big sweaty, eh? A bunch of us on the corner, right? So you can believe the propaganda to the fact it's real. May not be real, but, to each his own, right? And only in time, we hearing numbers, but, when you have a country that basically is allowing people to come to and fro a lot like that, then I guess the high possibility of that happening is what it is, right? Right? So, okay, it is what it is. All right, but I want to go here. This is where I want to go. I want to go here before I get up out of here. Try to work on for the next show. Let me show you this. Those who've been around a little bit. This here. See if I can show this. Wait, show? Won't show? It won't show? Where is that? That ain't it. Let me show you this here. Where's he at? Let me show you this. Where's that? Where'd it go? 1 second, y'all. What happened to it? All right, I'm gonna have to go in there and pull it out I'll pull up the screen. Let me do it like this. Because this story here, the reason why I'm doing this is because, we are living at a time, well, when you talk about history, sometimes they don't like to give you credit when you do stuff. And then if we're not paying attention, they'll steal it right from under you. And you never know until later on you might learn, it'll come across and somebody tell you, be like, oh shit, I didn't know that. I'm trying to see if I got it in here. I know I had it in here. So now it's not in here. Let's see. That's not it. That's crazy. All right. So I'm gonna pull it up as we go though. They had dropped this story in South China Morning Post a couple days ago. Again, I had the assassination tip on my system, so that's why I don't have everything I normally would do. You would have videos, ain't just me talking, for those who knew. Right. Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft can thank a black engineer for interchangeable games. How Jerry Lawson changed the face of the video game industry. I'm going to say that again. Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft can thank a black engineer for interchangeable games. How Jerry Lawson changed the face of the video game industry. Lawson, they say he oversaw the creation of the Channel F. Now, I had all that in here. Don't know what happened to it. Seemed to have just somehow disappeared. So what I'm going to try to do is pull it up while I'm talking here, right? Channel F. Now, Channel F game was mean for Channel Fun. It actually existed before Atari. Now, for those Gen X, you had to be just about like 10, 12 when Atari came out. And that wasn't the first gaming system. A lot of people think that was. No. Channel F was first. See if I can pull the brother up so you can see what I'm talking about. Pull it up. Come on. Why are you hiding from me? There we go. Let me show. There we go. There we go. I'm showing that something like that, right? That's the brother on your screen there, right? That's Jerry Lawson, right? He created. Now, I ain't gonna say he just created the gaming system. I ain't gonna say he just did that. Because what you're gonna find out is that Cornell said he was one of the few black engineers in the industry at that time. He's the one who established the concept of a console that could play unlimited number of games, kind of like your Xbox, right? They can, you could have all those games on there at one time, right? Matter of fact, let me see if I even got the. Let me show the image of the system that he created. Now the thing is, I had already had all that in here. I don't understand why I had to go back in here and do this, but we're gonna get it done. So if you're new to the show, my show is normally more crisp and fluent, but because of the assassination tip on my system, I got to do it the way I'm doing it, because I did not want to go another day without putting a show. So I'm just kind of, we doing it as I'm talking. So let me show you what the system looked like, all right? That's the system right there, right? Now you looking at those who've been around, remember that was the Atari. Like Atari looked like that, right? Look at how that's so similar to the Atari. And guess what he did that Atari didn't do? Those who are around, remember when Atari did it, you only got one joystick, right? At least, see, those who played gaming, especially when we play the sporting game, right? Don't it just feel like it's natural to you, right? But there'd be so many bums on there. They be cheating. Now, they're always cheating because they can't really compete. But why would I buy it? When Atari came out, you had to buy the second stick. Back at that time, I think the motherfucker was $169 when it first came out, right? And gave you one damn stick, right? But guess what this brother also created? Pac-Man. Now, you from where I'm from, Pac-Man, we talking about before you was at home playing. We talking about when you was like, even when the arcade, you had some stores that had these pinball machines. Now, those have been around, we've been playing pinball, right? I remember Space Invaders and Command and all that, Missile Command and Galaga and all, right? When Pac-Man came out and Miss Pac-Man came out, well, guess who was the one who created that? Because it just felt right. It just felt right. You would see mothers in there, especially sisters. Well, I seen some sisters that could really get into that Miss Pac-Man, right? Maybe you had to stand around bugging there, getting it in, then they had the halftime show, right? Now, reason why I'm going to tell you that, because I want you to hear this story about him and then wonder, did they steal other than just that? So it says that Atari, Magnavox, Intellivision, each invoked memories of the golden age of video games, which brought the first wave of console people could connect to their home television. But there is an oft-forgotten person from that era whose contributions to the industry still resonates today. A black engineer named Jerry Lawson. Lawson oversaw the creation of Channel F, the first video game console, with interchangeable game cartridges. Remember the cartridges, y'all? Those who've been around back in the day when your shit didn't work? We do, go give me some alcohol with a damn Q-tip. Remember that shit, y'all? Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Those who know what I'm talking about, right? Goes on and says that Lawson oversaw the creation of Channel F, the first video game console with interchangeable game cartridges, something the first Atari and Magnavox Odyssey systems did not use. Those initial consoles had a selection of games hardwired into the console itself. Goes on and says, but Lawson, an engineer and designer at Fairchild Camera and Instrument, led a team at the Silicon Valley semiconductor maker charged with creating a game system using Fairchild's F8 microprocessor and storing games on cartridge. Now, this Silicon Valley back then. Right? Silicon Valley, right? A lot of people in the industry swore that a microprocessor couldn't be used in video games. And I knew better. Now, here it is once again, right? Think about this. When we do certain things that can't be seen in other people's mind, eyes, spirit, whatever else, they can't see what we see. You don't come from the position I'm coming from. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes you might think it's racist. It ain't racist. You know, you better think about how many great people who might have came to this planet who had God's gifts, abilities. You hear some of the inventions, right? You hear some of the stuff that took place. But there might be a lot of things that got snuffed out and never got a chance to fruition. Or maybe they just were stolen and nobody's going to ever give them the credit for that, right? And so here was a black man who could see something that they could not understand. And with his envision created what we're using today all through this. It ain't going to be just this gaming. Now, wait till you get to listen to this. You're going to hear something in here, and then you got to ask yourself, wait a minute, then that story somebody made that movie about might be a goddamn lie. But listen to what I'm saying. So a lot of people in the industry had swore that a microprocessor couldn't be used in a video game. But he said he knew better. Lawson during a speech in 2005 Classic Game Expo in San Francisco. The Fairchild Video Entertainment System, later named the Channel F for Fun, which began selling in 1976, had games such as hockey, tennis, blackjack, and a maze game that foreshadowed Pac-Man. Pac-Man player Martin Amis owed to video game reissued. The console beat the Atari 2600 to market by 1 year. See? He only did it by a year. It was only by a year. He's first. He has a flag on the moon first. Give it to him, right? Just like I told y'all the last couple shows, right? Talking about Christopher Columbus Day. Why the country named America? I thought it was like the Vesubio Americos. What the hell we talking about Columbus? But I told you why they did Columbus. So you see how it don't... anyway. Right? So it goes on and says that it says that, but Atari's name recognition and marketing heft essentially pushed the Channel F into video game history obscurity. Guess what? Can you wonder why his game system didn't become the game system and then Atari ended up blowing up? Because see, it's kind of like our people be in the black corner. And we talk about economics and getting our own. And then you have some people say, we need to create our own damn social media, Facebook and grammar. But what's going to happen? It's going to be just like this here, right? You don't have the money. And if you could get the money, then you got to have other people that's going to have to be the one to help you to build it. And let's go on and see what happened here, right? Said the system would sell about 250,000 units, while the Atari 2600, which would get hits such as Space Invaders and Asteroids, would go on to sell about 30 million units. Well, who got behind him? Right? He created it. He came up and showed it, because if those who played the game and with the 2600 Atari, it had a stick man, had a line and a square ass basketball with two stiff ass white men, and you was just, you know what I'm saying? And that was considered basketball. Do I gotta say that again? I ain't gonna tell you what it hurt. I'm gonna tell you what I know, right? Right? And that's what it was. That was basketball. Matter of fact, pong, right? Square ball, and I could go just left and right, up and down, trying to knock it in. The score, kind of like a tennis, right? But he made it where now you can have some left, right, up, and down. You know what I'm saying? Rhythm to the game, right? You know. All right, we ain't got to go there. But anyway, so I said, regardless, the Channel F established the concept of a console that could play an unlimited number of games. And what they want to really give him credit for is saying he was the one that had more, he had the cartridges that you could play more different games. Didn't have to always be all the same ones. That's what they want to give him credit for. But now he ain't. Listen to it well. Watch. Said the foundation of today's game, the global video game market, which is projected to surpass 160 billion in 2020. Now, all this money they making today. And again, over here, I've been talking about how, like, again, the federal court that just gave so-called, what they say, platform techs the right to be able to prohibit, like you got Mr. Black Blows Your Minds channel, Black Minds News, suppressed, regardless of whether I go live or upload. I ain't going to get past 100 views. Once you get to the middle of the day, that's going to be in it. It's going to die out. No more life. You're not going to promote it. None of that, right? So that's fair, right? That's right. That's all they're going to do. But that industry, just like this social media, it wouldn't be shit without black people. You take black people off this social media, and y'all just be doing what y'all be doing. We make it pop. We make it cracking. We make it what's happening. But nobody want to give you the recognition, and nobody really want to sponsor that. Only when it's beneficial for in their pocket. Right? Matter of fact, they pretty much want us out of here because we done had so much influence on certain way that people are doing what they doing, right? Like talking about the election, that you hear Bernie saying stuff like trying to say that it's because of the social media that made him. No. It's because you didn't campaign and do what you supposed to have did. You're going to try to run off King's name, and then when some people try to remind you, hey, King said, when you go to Washington, just check. And then you're like, reparations. What's that, right? Okay, right there. That's the word you got to go back and look in your campaign. When you want a damn view and Sonny asked you that question, that was the moment right there was your campaign. That was it. That was the end of it. Everything else you trying to run from that, you was in trouble. You was in trouble. Yeah, you was in trouble. Yes, you was. And so the other cat, he just gonna be the cannon fodder, because when he go against Trump, that's gonna be some of the funniest shit you ever seen, boy. This gonna be this when he go against him. You remember he went. You gotta remember this. I ain't trying to get off topic. You gotta remember Donald Trump. They just put him before the nation to do what? What was it about, right? Wasn't it about him and about with the Biden and the whole thing? So now he beat that. What you think he's gonna use when it's time? Man, this gonna be wow. You understand? And stay tuned to Black Minds News because we gonna cover it. Just remember I told you. Remember I said it. So anyway, this black brother here, Larry Lawson. Let me go back. Hold on. Go back. Wait. Go back. Right there. So here's an industry that's making $160 billion in 2020. And even to this day, there's only a handful of black people in the industry. So now you know why they don't really want you to be in the industry like that, is because your vision is going to be different from their vision. It's like if you play the game and you see how the game work in such a way that you be like, why the game move like this? If I was to ever make it do this. But that's the vision of those who are in it. And that's how they can see. If I made a game, a lot of them wouldn't be able to play it. Yeah, this is kind of like this is look at like in reality. Just because you played a video game, but if I ask, could you play in reality and your ass can't play, what makes you think you can actually play in virtual world, right? Yeah, the game gonna give you, okay, you really probably can't jump, you really can't run. But the skill part, now I want you to remember that because this is what this brother was saying about the video game. It's about skills. And without skills, then you aren't gonna be a half-ass person, period. In anything. If you don't have the skills, you're just gonna be mediocre. Exceptional skills, you're gonna be exceptional. So we're gonna try to take all this mediocrity, and then remember, again, I didn't get a chance to do the video. They were talking about how the drug industry and how Silicon Valley, and this is using the drugs so that they come with these higher thoughts to come up with these ingenuities of ideas of trying to create shit. But even with drugs, how much stuff you done miss that black minds could have helped build that or make so that it could be beyond what you're doing. You might got a ceiling. We may have the space. We can go into space. You don't got a ceiling, but we're gonna keep the ceiling. That's why kind of like when you look at all these movies, you don't come up with nothing new. You keep rehashing shit. Rehashing it. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. God damn! I'm trying to tell you the same ass shit. Anyway, so they made $160 billion in 2020. Now, that was according to the research firm New Zoo. Now, this brother had died back in 2011 at the age of 70 from complications of diabetes, right? And when you look at his legacy, literally he created an industry that is bigger than the movie industry. Gaming right now is, it is. The money when they put a game out, the money that like I said, they said $160 billion just this year. What they make last year, how many billion? How many years? You understand? And so, we have people who are trying to get into the industry to be a part of it, but then they're being, like the story I did with the sister the other day when I talked about she was in there getting stopped and frisked because you want to ask where her badge and how you lost. Or she been working there. Yeah, because it's so white in there. They see somebody black like you, either the janitor or delivery service. You don't work here, do you? Right? But going all the way back to this brother here, what he did, look at that industry to this day. Look at that industry. Right? And so John William Templeton, who was the executive producer of the curriculum and content for Reunion of Education, Arts, and Heritage, he was creating program schools, right? And that's what he was trying to do. This is what this brother was trying to do, this Jerry Lawson. And as being a groundbreaker as one of the few black engineers in the industry at the time, he grew up in Queens, New York. Considered himself a lifelong inventor, right? But you know what? He attended a university, but he didn't earn a degree. See, a lot of times people try to equate the fact that if you got a degree that makes you somehow like you. A lot of people don't drink the Kool-Aid. That don't mean that they don't have the, intellect or not have the brilliance to do stuff just because they don't know how to read the formula. You had some people like back in the day when you used to get like Christmas Day, you got to build a damn toy for the kids and it got all them damn parts. Some people got to sit there and read the damn instructions, right? Look at that, shit. Take A, screw with B and Z, right? Do all that shit, right? And then some people like, fuck that instruction. Let me look at the damn box. Right? And the one who started building from looking at the damn box. He ain't trying to read no instructions. He looking at the box. A couple pieces of that's all right. That shit don't matter no way. Right? That shit don't matter. Right? And television, that's right. In television, right? Yeah, you remember that I had the television, right? That's Cheryl Ruth out there. Right? And so, some people have that inclination. They don't need to be able to do all that. You don't need to be having all that. That's what, not everybody. And that's the thing. Everybody trying to put everybody in the same damn box. Nah, some of us can just improvise. Just let me see it. Let me see how you do it. It's kind of like old school way jobs used to be, somebody would sit there and train you. Last time when I had this other job I came in the motherfucker and I had just didn't know nothing about it, but I'm kind of a fish to water. Motherfuckers, they weren't finna train you. They like, shit, you better sink or swim. So, okay, I swam and I excelled. Right? Now you want me to train other people. I'm looking at it like, shit, well, I don't need to train nobody else to train me. You threw me right in the damn grease. Right? But that's just how it is. Some people they got to go through the manual. Not everybody like that. So you got to be able to see that and understand that. But see, some people, that's a deterrent that keep us out of that industry. Oh, you don't have the degree. Can't come in here. We got to accreditate you. Right? It's kind of like some of these shows on this YouTube. You got some people in here who got some real good shows, do some real good work. And basically, YouTube has really surpassed TV, where TV trying to get in YouTube. I'm going to say that again. And that's because what we was doing in here, right? YouTube done got to the point that it done surpassed TV. That they getting in here with us because they wasn't competing. So they were slowly matriculating in because who was inundating in this social media? We was. Who's the entertainment? Who is the actors and where's all that? Where's that? Everybody knows that. So now they want to come in there. Now they want to come in and take over and corporatize it to get this free talk out of here. Get that, huh? We ain't supposed to be telling them that. Got to spend that. So, okay, all right, that's what they doing. All right, anyway. So going on, I had all that. Where the ColecoVision, right? ColecoVision, huh? And that too. That Dreamcast, that all called a whole bunch of that stuff there, right? Goes on, says when he left Fairchild, he founded his own video company. And guess what the name of his video company is? Now I want you to hear this good. The name of this brother that you see on your screen, Jerry Lawson, after I quit messing with this other company. I'm pretty sure it was the white man company because Fairchild ended up allowing Atari to do with his business and building, and they exploded. And he felt like probably he was being marginalized. Fucking, I'm gonna make my own. Guess what the name was? It VideoSoft. I'm gonna say that again. It should ring a bell. He named his company VideoSoft. Does that sound similar to something? Does it sound similar to something? His name's VideoSoft. Microsoft? VideoSoft. Microsoft? Oh. Coincidence? Maybe. I mean, he just liked the sound of that. Okay. Anyway. So, brother went and made his own, created games. And guess what? After he left competing, guess what? When he started to build his games, guess who he had to go sell to? His competitor, Atari. He made some of the first 3D games. And then there was the crash of the 1980s that ended up killing his gaming system or his company. Then he dies, but they gave him a little recognition before he died. There's a documentary out there for 2009 called Freedom Riders of the Cutting Edge, right? Man, what the hell are y'all doing? They in here fidgeting. They in here fidgeting my stuff, right? Just doing craziness. So, let me go back in here. Hold on, y'all. One second. Tell you what they did. They did it to me the other day. It was in 2005, right? So there's the documentary that was called Freedom Riders of the Cutting Edge, produced by Templeton. And it looks like that what they did by honoring him is saying, it was a question asked, the person who did the first video game console was black. He just literally stopped in his tracks. And a lot of us didn't know that. But again, when we was playing the games, those who came up again, if you Gen X, we were the first ones to get that, right? We were the first one to get that. Like I say, Gen X, you could be baby boomer too. Because baby boom, some of them could be a little bit like your big brothers of Gen X. But Gen X started by about 65 and then go on up, right? But Charlie came about 79, 70, 78. About 78, 79, right? Got in that Christmas. Got somebody to pay that $169, right? They had one game. From about them there, cartoon cartridge was like $39, and that's at that time, right? They high, shit, if you play them games now, right? About 50, $60. It was $39 back in 79. So that just gonna show you only certain people were supposed to have them games. And when you had one, if you had one, that your house was where everybody went to go play games at, right? Got school stuff go over there. That's what you did, right? But you also we could still put the quarters in the video games, right? That's why Gen X be good if they still play the game. Most of you probably don't really talk. But if you play the game, you good because you remember playing pinball. You remember when Space Invaders was an arcade, right? Missile Command, Donkey Kong, right? Missile Command, Tetra, you name Asteroid, all them games. Huh? We were playing all them when it was an arcade. So you was building skills back then. So you have all that coordination. You put a lot of time in there. A quarter, because see, if you didn't have a lot of money, you had to be good because that quarter had to last. So you built your skills so you could stay on the game a long time, right? Then you had some other just wizards, they do what they did. But that just go to show you when we was doing it, is because the game had a familiarity because of how we resonate, who we are in our spirit. And we didn't know that brother was there. So I give him recognition on that. Just in case you didn't know that, but see, South China just released that. They're not going to talk about that here. I happened to come across and caught. I said, oh, shit, look at that. Really? Right? So I just wanted to bring that to y'all attention. Right? And so it's just what it is, y'all. Sometimes, got to be a watcher on the wall, see certain things. We got to, talk about some things that the general media is not going to talk about. Everything ain't going to be always about one way. Sometimes they have to bring this on the other side, especially today, because I did a show based on the simple fact that the assassination tip to kill my system was 3-4 days ago. And today I just wanted to come back. So for those who might have thought what happened, because I remember I said I'm back and I'm coming day to day, and they said, oh, no, you're not. And a lot went on. So anyway, I want to thank everybody who did come in here today. Cheryl Ruth, Andrea Graham, Black Beauty as always. I think that Kabay. I think he was up in here too. Who else was up in here? Was anybody else in here? I think that was it. Whoever, can't say Andrea Graham. Okay, and so that's what it is, y'all. Just did a kind of a helter-skelter show, just so that to get back, just to see how the system was going to work. But come back tomorrow, we'll be back the way we normally do with videos and everything else. So again, I want to thank each and every one of y'all who came here. You can like, dislike, comment. You can even dislike. We don't ban nobody over here. Everybody entitled to their own opinion. You may not like my damn opinion. That's what you're free to make your own show. Say what you want to say, right? So can we get some kind of normalcy on the end here? Can we get it? All right, okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and get it out. Can you get it? All right, let's see if that works. We'll be ready tomorrow, though. Get it going? There you go. There we go. All right, everybody. I want to thank again once everybody for here, turning out, showing out, like, clicking, and subscribing, all that good stuff, share. This was a helter-skelter show. After the assassination tip that just took place, hopefully that tomorrow at my normal scheduled time, we'll be ready, prompt ready to go, and from that day forth, every day. So, when you see your brother, greet your brother. What's good, brother? When you see your sister, what's good, sister? If you can't do that much, just give a universal nod. I understand we are all in this together. be your brother and your sister's keeper. Cause we is all we got. Understand that some of us got allies. And if you don't have allies, you better ask your allies a couple questions. One, when shit and if shit get hot, are you gonna still be in the frying pan with me? Two, ask your ally, have they ever heard of John Brown? And ask them, how come white folks ain't never made a movie about John Brown? Like John Brown is the worst white man that was ever born and made in the United States. Again, this is the most hated show on the black corner of the internet. I am your host, Mr. Blows Your Minds, and this is Black Minds News Live. I want to say peace, love, and to my next show, you're going to have to give me a John F. Kennedy top, boy, because you're trying to shoot me through the window. To the next show, y'all. To the next.